South Korean officials are continuing their visit to North Korea in a bid to improve relations. There's no information on their latest discussions yet, but the North and South have put out details of a high-profile meeting on Monday between the South's delegation and Kim Jong-un. And that's what Kim Chang-ju from our Eye on Asia team will be talking about for us. So, Chang-ju, what do we know so far?
Well, Minori, the North state-run media says its leader Kim warmly welcomed the delegation and that they reached a satisfactory agreement on a summit meeting with the South's President Moon Jae-in. Officials with South Korea's presidential office say they got results that weren't disappointing, but they didn't disclose what they were. The South's 10-member delegation arrived Monday and met with Kim for a total of 4 hours. First with his sister at a meeting, then with his wife at a dinner banquet. The North state-run media says they delivered a letter to him from Moon. The agency also says the two sides discussed improving relations and easing military tensions on the Korean peninsula. They had risen significantly last year because of the North's nuclear and missile tests. It's not clear if those weapons programs were discussed specifically. It's also not clear if potential talks between the U.S. and North Korea were addressed. Moon has said those discussions as a condition for him to meet Kim. The visit by the South's delegation will continue on Tuesday. So let's look at what all this means. NHK World's correspondent Yoshiyuki Aoki is here to tell us more. Well, Yoshiyuki, what's the significance of this meeting?
Well, Kim Jong-un has met with very few guests from foreign countries, basically only with officials from China, Cuba, and Syria, countries Pyongyang has traditional diplomatic relations with. So South Korean media say Monday's meeting was his real debut on the diplomatic stage. There was a speculation he would meet with the envoys sometime during their visit, but we didn't imagine it would be it on the first day. And the North Korean ruling party's newspaper made the news its top story, with lots of photos, including Kim smiling with the top South Korean envoy. It may take some time to look through what's been released from both sides more carefully.
Okay, so we do have some details. So based on that, what kind of progress do you think they're making?
You mentioned that the North says they reached a satisfactory agreement. The South Korean officials say they don't know what agreement the North is referring to. And it seems like there was some progress on inter-Korean relations as the two sides talked about peace and stability on the peninsula. The North state-run media said Kim Jong-un repeated his will to write a new history of national reunification, but we still don't know what he said about the nuclear issue. The major South Korean paper Chosun Ilbo speculated the envoys could have laid out a three-stage roadmap toward denuclearization. The article says the roadmap would see the North stop testing nuclear weapons and missile launches. Then it would abolish construction of new nuclear facilities and finally abandon all nuclear weapons and facilities it already has.
The delegation was expected to encourage the North to participate in dialogue with the U.S. So what do we know about that?
Chang-ju, we don't have any information yet. A U.S. Defense Department spokesperson says the U.S. is cautiously optimistic about the inter-Korean talks. But Washington's position remains that it won't talk to the North unless it's about denuclearization. Its focus is making sure that North gets rid of its nuclear weapons and without letting it secretly continue development. South Korean envoys are going to brief the U.S. administration on the visit later this week, so maybe we'll find more by then.
All right, thank you very much, Yoshiyuki Aoki, NHK's correspondent.